Test some headlights for a 2006 Chevy Colorado, 2.8 liter engine, the base model. First thing we always do, make sure we have our safety devices with us, our goggles, our face mask for the time being, steel-toed shoes, anything else that we need, depending on what we're looking at on the vehicle. So we're going to look at the headlamps, see if they are working correctly or not. So over here we have the schematic. So on the schematic we have fuses. This is the fuse box located in the engine compartment on the front left hand side. Over here we have the relay for the headlamps. We'll test the relay later. It goes from here down into the lamps themselves. We'll go ahead and pull those out, make sure we're getting the right voltages when we're supposed to. So what we're going to use for all of that is, of course, digital multimeter. We're going to use volts DC. We're going to check first off what our battery voltage is. So we'll come over here and take care of that. So here's our battery. Again, put it on volts DC. Put it somewhere where it's not going to fall or get into the way. Make sure we're going to use the correct leads on the right areas. Positive, red one, black being ground. Positive to the terminal, black, and we're looking at 11.81 volts DC currently. Alright, we're going to continue checking our circuitry for our external lighting. Charles, can you turn the lights on, please? Okay, as we notice, there's no headlights. High beams, please. No high beams and no fog lights. So we have no lights in the front. Next, we're going to go to the back and check for brake lights. Brake lights, please. And you notice we have brake lights, both sides, and the upper brake light works fine. Next, we'll come up here. We're going to check the headlamp relay.
You said yeah? That's not ours. That's theirs.
Oh, okay. So the fuse box is right here. Inside the fuse box, laid out pretty well. It'll give us where the location of all the relays are. Headlamp relay is located right here. So we're going to pull it out and make sure this relay works. It's located right here. We went ahead and labeled the relay with the pin numbers to make it a little bit easier as we go through this. So first we're going to take the resistance readings. Pin 85, pin 86, and we should be getting 87.1. Anywhere from the 86, 87 range is a good, that tells us this part of the relay is working. Next we're going to energize the relay to make sure the switch works correctly. So to do that, we will go ahead and hook up our battery power. We're going to do the same thing, pins 85 to 86.
No.
And once we did that, you heard the click, which tells you it's switching. So we'll go ahead and read it out to make sure it switches all the way. We should be looking for 0 ohms. And we check the meter, and we are at 0 ohms. So the relay is working as advertised. And we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so we're continuing on our troubleshooting of the lighting system. Next we're going to look at the fuse box for the fuses for the lamps. 2 fuses in here. So if you're looking at the fuse box cover, those are fuses are right here. 2 of them, both 10 amp. 2 red ones here and here. First we're going to check to see if we got power to our fuses. So we have our test lamp, which will show us if there's voltage going to it. Hook that battery ground. We'll check it out. Lights up means it's good. So we'll reach down here and check one side of the fuse. Nothing. Other side of it, nothing. And it has no voltage on either one of them. The other fuse, a different one, proves that our lamp is still working correctly. So we do have a problem. So we already know with this fuse panel. So there's going to be more troubleshooting involved here. What we can do next is go and pull the fuse, make sure the fuses are in there good. There's a fuse puller, but these work just as well. So you pull the fuse out, you look down inside, make sure it's not broken anywhere. That's one, it looks good. And the second one, Looks good. Ready to put them back in the holes so we don't lose them.
Yeah, the other one's back on. It's just the left one don't work.
So we know we have a problem with this fuse panel. It's going to take some work to get it done. So, all right, so we have it set up now to read the volts. We saw the test light up. Brake lights are on. We'll check. And it shows 10.77 volts, which is the battery voltage making it back here. If we change the plunger position, which he's doing right now, pushing it in, and we go to almost 0 millivolts. So the system is working as it should. Last thing we're going to look at is the actual light bulb itself. So we're going to measure that out, make sure it reads correctly.
That's where my racing.
So we can clip the one side, clip the other side, and it shows 0.3 ohms, which is good for that. Flip around, see what kind of reading we get on this side.